I'm back from vacay. Did you miss me? I know you did. Stay tuned to see what sold.
Where the deals just shine. Boss ladies on the grind every single time. From fitness to new, they got the fashion view. Step into their world, you feel brand new. Got Gucci, got Prada, got everything you crave. Their passion for fashion is what they bravely gave. Brazil getting strong and the ladies in command. 3 queens Brazil taking over the land.
Hey friends, it is Stephanie from 3 Queens Resale, and if you are new here, I'm not just my camera. We are back in the office after a fun week in New York City on vacation with my oldest daughter, this person right here, Courtney. So we were supposed to be back Thursday night. The Lord saw fit for us to spend the night in Atlanta when our plane was delayed from LaGuardia to Atlanta, and we missed our connection. So we had to stay out another day, and your girl was exhausted. So we got home Friday morning, and now I'm just getting back into the office and getting back to work. And so I'm gonna be honest, friends, we're gonna have some hard truths in this video. And it's okay. But that's what this channel is for, because you guys are my accountability partners. I don't know why I can't say that today, but you are my accountability partners. So far this week, I'm supposed to list 105 things, and I've listed, I think, like 26. So while I was gone, I did not do my daily listings like I thought I would. And quite honestly, there was a few times that I could have listed, but I was sleepy, so I went to sleep. So it's okay. It's Saturday. I still have the rest of today to try to like make a dent, maybe get halfway, but I also got stuff to do today, open houses and stuff. But you know what I learned while I was gone? It's okay to take a break, because sales still came in. We still sold things. Like I said, Brian was here getting shippings out, and I think, no, he is done with eBay. Remember how we were repricing everything on eBay? He has finally finished that big project. It took 2 weeks. Me, on the other hand, with the smaller shop, I lost focus. So I'm going to knock that out before the end of the month, because I only have like 280 items in that store. And if he can do 1,600 in 2 weeks, I can surely do 280. What else is going on here? Life. So back from vacation. This next week, I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to try to do some more vlog style videos, but I'll also bring you the numbers and the what sold each day. But this is really what reselling is always working. And through the course of doing these videos and coming on almost daily with you guys, I have made a lot of new reseller besties, and I really enjoy interacting in the comments. I know I'm slow in the comments. I'll get faster. I have to build it. I'm not used to people commenting, so I need to build it into part of my daily routine, because I do love reading them. So be sure to comment down below any questions, any ideas for future videos, anything you want me to kind of talk about as part of my reseller journey. I don't know everything. I don't even know half of everything. That's why I decided I wanted to reboot my eBay business over a month ago. And my in turn, it has totally like changed our reselling business. You know, slow and steady a journey goes. In my head, things are supposed to happen in 30 days, but in reality, they don't. So if you approach it like that, like slow and steady, like make those meaningful changes each day and be consistent, you will see changes in your reselling business. And one of those is listing daily. So I'm a little frustrated that I got myself off track, but I needed a break. I needed to spend time with my girl, and we're going on vacation again as a family in 13 days. So I'm going to work on a plan to be more successful while I'm on that vacation. So I wanted to do a little dab of a story time and kind of relate it back to reselling. So as you guys know, I was in New York this past week, and this is my second time in New York. I'm from Central Indiana, in the Indianapolis, Fishers area, and so it is very suburban, very slow paced compared to, it's like not even moving compared to New York. And so, like that is definitely my comfort zone. So I was really anxious about my trip to New York, even though I'd already been there once. I'm not by no means an expert, and I'm just very intimidated by like stuff, that is not new stuff, like most of us are. So some of you, I'm saying this because some of you might be intimidated about reselling and starting a new platform, or starting, and I want to just give this as an example. So first time I went to New York, I was with my older sister. She wanted to ride the subway. I didn't want to ride the subway because I was scared of the subway, because people get murdered in the subway, right? So I didn't want to go in the subway, and so we didn't. And so we wasted a lot of time and money on taking Ubers or everywhere. And so this time, I'm happy to report I took 0 Ubers, and I have mastered the New York subway. And so all it took was a little push from my daughter, who is just young and energetic and willing to try new things and doesn't really fear anything like that, doesn't have any preconceived notions from living in the Midwest her whole life. She's just like, yeah, people do it. Everybody else does it. Like, let's do it. So we did it. And the $500 I had budgeted for transportation, because Ubers are super expensive in New York, I was able to bring home because I tried something new. So that I was scared of, but just like I was scared of eBay to some extent. So I never reached out, or I was reluctant to like dive into it deep head on. And you might be reluctant to start reselling because you don't know what brands to pick up, or you don't know what to price them at. But I'm just encouraging to jump in, just to do it. Whatever it is you're scared of, whatever new change you're scared of implementing, just do it. Are you going to get mixed up, turned around, lost? Yes, that happened to us on the subway. We took the wrong subway. We went the wrong direction, but we learned, we figured it out. And that's what's going to happen in your reselling business. You are going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to figure it out. And my best advice is just to start small and then go from there. Not making a move, not making a decision is making a decision. So if you're like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Just do it. Do it. Do it. So I make all the mistakes for you guys anyway. So you can just follow my lead. So we're going to get into what sold. When I last left you, I was in my hotel room on my bed, and that was Wednesday. Like I said, Thursday was a travel day that turned into a Friday travel day. And friends, I am too old to travel for a whole day like that. I'm going to have to figure out something. I need to de-age, like get younger. So maybe I'm going to really work on that. But so we're going to do Thursday and Friday numbers, because it is just 9:30 on here on Saturday. So Saturday, we might have some goodies still coming. Hopefully, it's only 9:30 and we've had 3 sales. But let's get into what sold on Thursday, May 23rd. We had 3 sales. The first was this Anthropologie Floret nightgown, size extra large. This was mine. I'd had it a while. I didn't wear it as a nightgown. I wore it as a tunic with some leggings out in public. But it's flannel and it's really hot, and I don't wear it anymore. But it was still in great condition. So I listed it. It sold for $14. After the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $11.05. And that had been listed since February 29th. Next up was this 31 sling backpack. 31 was a real big thing here in the Midwest. I don't know, maybe around the whole country. I don't know. But I was a teacher before I started reselling, and all teachers have a side hustle. And so a lot of teachers sold 31. So I went to a lot of 31 parties because I like to go to parties and I like snacks. So I would go, and I bought several 31 pieces. I still have them, but I know it is something it's a pretty good product, but it's not going to go for much. So when I saw this sling backpack, I was like, this is great for spring, summer festival season. It was at the bins, super lightweight. It has been listed since November 21st of 23. It sold on Poshmark for $16. After the $3.20 in fees, I was left with $12.80. And then last, our eBay streak goes strong. Since I started my reboot, I've only had one day, and it was in the first week, of no sales on eBay. So we have had consistent sales on eBay since I have really started focusing on eBay. Were these Teva men's hiking sandals, size 12. I love to pick up this brand because it always sells. Men's, women's, kids. You're not going to be able to retire on it, but slow and steady wins the race, friends. The order total for these was $25.82. The transaction fee was $3.59. The shipping label was $6.82, and my earnings were $15.21. Those were a bins pickup. Our bins is $1.79 a pound, but since I go so often, I always have points, so it ends up bringing things often when I average it out around between $1 and $1.50 per item when I source there. So our numbers for Thursday on Poshmark, we had $23.85 total for the 2 items. eBay $15.41. Our total for the day was $39.26. The cost of goods for those 3 items is $3, and our average sale price is $13.08. And keep in mind, all these numbers are after all the fees. This is what goes. That $39.26 is what I keep. We do have to pay income tax on it and subtract out cost of goods, but all the shipping and all the platform fees have been removed. Moving on to Friday, and I am back with my Friday little graphic. So Thursday, May 24th, we had 8 sales for the day. The first on Poshmark was this Armena brown leather purse. It sold for $171. After the $34 in fees, I was left with $136.80. I've had that listed as high as $300. I guess, and I think I had 25 into it. I'm happy to move it and get $136, and it's gone because we have had that since October 4th of 2022. So maybe 300 was a tad high, but it's a nice leather. I think it might even be crocodile leather, but she gone, and I'm glad for it. Next up was the Zara combination lace knit top size large. And I did send out offers to likers on Poshmark for 40% off yesterday. So that kind of, whenever I'm had a lull in sales, I like to shake it up and send out a generous offer. But this sold for $9 after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $6.05, and that had been listed since February 14th. Like I've said about Zara, some pieces go for a lot, some pieces don't. If you're picking it up at the bins, might as well pick it up because I live in central Indiana. We don't have a Zara store here. So even if I were to go take that to Plato's Closet, they would snatch that up because we don't have Zara here. Next up was this Alex evening sleeveless gown, 22 women's. It was also part of the 40% off. It sold for $16 after the $3.20 in fees. I was left with $12.80, and that had been listed since July 12th of 23. I did pick that up at a plus size estate sale where I went last summer, almost a year ago. I went and I spent $500. The cost of goods was way less than 62 cents or something per item. And so just time to let some of that stuff go. Remember, I'm 100% focused on sell-through rate moving forward since the reboot. So some of those things that don't have a good sell-through rate, I am happy just to get rid of them, recoup some funds so we can invest in items that are going to have a good sell-through rate. Next up on Mercari was this Lululemon Restless pullover in Nile Blue size 6. And this was a quick flip. It has been listed since April 22nd, and it sold for $18 on Mercari. Mercari did revert back to its old return policy, which I was fine with it either way. I had never had a return on Mercari in the 5 years I've been on there until last week. And under the old return policy, they wouldn't have been able to return it, but it's fine. They returned it. I'm going to relist it. It's fine. So I was glad to get that $18. I'm still picking up Lululemon because people still want it. It does not go for $1 bajillion like it used to, but it will flip quickly. Next up was an eBay sale, and it was this Kobe Halprin silk blouse 2X. And I did pick this up from the consignment shop, and I had about $4 into it. The order total was $57.04. The transaction fee was $7.44. The shipping label was $4.38, and my earnings were $45.22. So what I've been doing when I go to the consignment shop is I go to the designer rack and I look at the sale items, and I go through and just search them on eBay Terapeak to see how many are listed, how many have sold in the past year, what the average sale price is of the sold items versus the listed, to decide if I'm going to pick them up. Because like this is like an item, like it didn't look like anything special, and I didn't recognize the brand, but there were like 4 listed, and especially in a 2X plus size, I just typed in the brand and silk blouse, and there were like 5 listed, but like 25 had sold in the past, 90 days. And so looking at it like that, like if you list it, it's gonna sell, because there's so many that have sold and so few available. So I knew it was going to be a good pickup. And so that's a lot easier to do at the consignment shop, but I do that with every item now at the bins. There are some brands I'm just now aware of that it's going to be okay. Like the Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Maryland Straight. I picked up enough of those that I don't have to look them up anymore. Any Nike Golf women's apparel, I don't have to. At that point, I can just look at the comps. I don't need to look at the sell-through rate because I've picked up enough of that I know. Same with Free People pieces in larger sizes, medium, large, extra large, small, extra small, I would look up, because the market is flooded with that, unless you just want to sell it for a lower price. But that was a goodie. Next on eBay was this vintage Sears dress, and it says it's been listed since February 5th of 2023, which I actually think I pulled it from our inventory. I know I did, when I started doing Whatnot shows, and then relisted it. So I've probably had it for like 3 years. I picked this up back in the days when I used to go to Goodwill every Sunday, because the color of the week turned to $1. So I had like 5 Goodwills I go to on Sunday and just pick up like things for $1. Not the best strategy, because we got to look at sell-through rate. So I've had this forever, so I was glad that it finally sold. The order total was $26.73. The sales tax that the buyer pays is $174. The transaction fee is $370. The shipping label is $7.99. My ad fee was $3.81, and I was left with $10.09. So good to go. This next one they haven't paid, but I'll show it. It's the Nike Athletic Shorts Blue 2XL. I don't have the numbers in yet because they haven't paid, and I did not include it in my total because they haven't paid. And that can be an issue with eBay. If there was one thing about eBay I would like to change, is that it is immediate pay. I know you can select immediate pay, but I want immediate pay for automatically. Next up on Depop was this new tag Kate Cassane midi skirt. It sold for $30. Yay! And the transaction fee was $178. The Depop fee was $3, and my earnings were $25.22. That had been listed since April 28th, so not quite a month. And then our last sale for Friday was this Gap denim jacket on Poshmark. It was part of the 40% off. It had been listed since March 25th, and it sold for $15. After the $3.20 in fees, I was left with $12.80. So the denim jacket, the midi skirt, and the Nike shorts were all Ben's pickups. So our eBay earnings for the day were $55.31 for the two sales that have paid. And then our other platforms, which do include Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop, had a total of $211.67, making the daily total $266.98. Our average sale price is really inflated today because of that purse at $33.37. And then our cost of goods is higher today because of that purse as well at $35. So that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below how your week went and what videos that you want to see upcoming in the summer. We're going to get back on to our uploading a video daily, and I want to share more tips and tricks and more of the behind the scenes of our reselling business. Like I said, I don't ship and I don't do photographs. My husband does that part, but I am going to start getting some footage of him doing it and try to walk you through the process. So thanks so much, friends, for joining, and I will see you in the next one. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and watch the playlist at the end. Bye, friends.
3 Queens, Brazil, where the deals just shine. Boss ladies on the grind every single time. From victims to new, they got the fashion view. Step into their world, you feel brand new. Got Gucci, got Prada, got everything you crave. Their passion for fashion is what they bravely gave. Brazil game strong and the ladies in command. 3 Queens, Brazil, taking over the land.